With the amount of idols that have been leaving their groups recently, I've gone down a very interesting rabbit hole. I've been seeing talks about a possible 7-member group course, and let me tell you, you're gonna have to sit down for this one because the list is longer than I expected. I'm sure you can already tell by the video length. I'll be covering popular groups, Nugu groups, and the Nuguest of the new groups. If there's any group I missed, then comment below, but I think I got all of them. Like there's over 30 groups in this video. If you stand a group here and I butcher the pronunciation, then pardon me because I'm just finding out a lot of these groups exist myself. Like I dug into the Nuguest pits. Anyways, let's begin. Enhypen debuted on November 30th, 2020 under B-Lift Lab, which is a joint label between HYBE and CJENM. They were formed through a survival show called Island and came out of it with 7 members. For about 5.5 years, they've been a complete group. And then on March 10th, 2026, B-Lift Lab released a statement announcing that Heesung, the oldest member and a key part of the group's vocal line, was leaving Enhypen to pursue a solo career. Heesung remains under B-Lift Lab and is working on solo music as a soloist. Enhypen is continuing as 6 despite all the protest trucks the fans have been sending. Nmixx debuted on February 22nd, 2022 under JYP Entertainment with 7 members. Less than 10 months after debut on December 9th, 2022, JYP Entertainment released a statement saying that Jinny was leaving the group and that her exclusive contract with the company had been terminated due to personal circumstances. No further explanation was given. Jinny reappeared in early 2023, opening an Instagram account and hinting at a solo career. She signed with a smaller agency called ATOC and officially changed her stage name to Jinny with a single N. On October 11, 2023, she released her debut solo EP titled An Iron Hand in a Velvet Glove. She later collaborated with American rapper EVNNE, and she's been building a solo career, and Nmixx has continued as 6. Riize debuted on September 4th, 2023 under SM Entertainment with 7 members, but just 2 months after debut on November 22nd, 2023, SM Entertainment released a statement announcing that member Seunghan would be going on an indefinite hiatus. The reason was the leak and circulation of personal photos from before his debut, showing him with a girlfriend and smoking a cigarette. These were pre-debut moments from his private life before he was ever an idol. SM said Seunghan was feeling severely apologetic and would step back to reflect. The group continued as 6 for the next 10 months. Then, on October 11, 2024, SM announced that Seunghan would be returning to the group and rejoining activities starting from the group's next chapter in November. But within 48 hours, the situation completely reversed. On October 13, 2024, SM released a statement announcing that Seunghan would be leaving Riize permanently. The reason given was that in the days following the return of the announcement, a large number of Korean fans had sent hundreds of funeral wreaths to SM Entertainment's headquarters in Seoul as a protest against his comeback. Seunghan himself also released a handwritten letter on Weverse saying that he did not want the controversy to damage the relationship between the members and their fanbase, and that leaving was the right decision for everyone. Seunghan later re-debuted as a solo artist under the stage name Seunghan, SNGHAN, releasing a single in July 31st, 2025 under SM. The remaining Riize members have mentioned running into him at the company. Riize has continued as 6. Kep1er is a girl group formed through Mnet's Girls Planet 999 and debuted on January 3rd, 2022 under Wake One and Swing Entertainment with 9 members. The The group was originally set up as a project group with a contract of only 2.5 years, which meant disbandment was always on the table when that period expired. In early 2024, discussions about extending the group's contract began. For months, there was back and forth reporting, with media outlets at various points claiming the group would disband, then claiming they would continue, then claiming only some members would renew. On May 30th, 2024, Weeekly and Swing Entertainment officially confirmed that 7 members had agreed to renew their contracts. Mashiro and Yuso, both of whom managed by a separate agency called 143 Entertainment, did not renew. Their departure was confirmed to take place after Kep1er's concert in Yokohama, Japan, with both members officially leaving the group on July 15, 2024. Mashiro and Yuso returned to 143 Entertainment and went on to re-debut as members of a new group called Madein in September 2024. The 7 remaining Kep1er members released their 6th mini-album Tippy Tap on November 1st, 2024 as their first release in the new lineup. But the story did not stop there. On March 6, 2026, Weeekly announced that member Younghyun would also be concluding activities with Kep1er. They are now a 6-member group. Izna was formed through Mnet survival show Island 2 and debuted in November 2024 under Weeekly Entertainment with 7 members. They were barely 3 months into their debut when things started to go wrong. In February 2025, just months after debut, Yoon Ji-hoon halted all promotional activities due to health concerns. Weeekly said she needed sufficient rest and recovery, and the group continued promoting without her. For 6 months, Ji-hoon stayed away from activities with no clear timeline for a return. Then, on August 19, 2025, Weeekly released an official statement confirming that after long and careful consideration, Yoon Ji-hoon had decided to conclude her activities with the group, with health being the top priority. The statement said the company and artist had held in-depth discussions throughout her hiatus and ultimately agreed that stepping away from group activities permanently was the right decision. Ji-hoon's future plans have not been officially announced. Izna continues as a 6-member group. Madein is a girl group under 143 Entertainment that debuted on September 3, 2024 with 7 members. 3 of those members had previously debuted under the same label as a trio called Limelight in February 2023. The group was rebuilt and rebranded as Madein in July 2024, with former Kep1er members Mashiro and Yuso joining alongside 2 Japanese members Serena and Nagomi. The group had barely debuted when the first controversy hit. On November 11, 2024, 143 Entertainment announced that Gaeun was going on hiatus due to health reasons. Then on November 22, 2024, South Korean broadcast outlet JTBC's investigative program Crime Chief reported that a rookie girl group member, widely believed to be Gaeun, had been sexually assaulted by her company's CEO. 143 Entertainment responded the same day, denying the sexual assault claim but confirming that the CEO had made sexual advances towards Gaeun. 1 week later, on November 29, 2024, 143 Entertainment released a formal statement announcing that Gaeun had officially left Madein due to personal circumstances. All of her solo posts were removed from the group's social media accounts. In April 2025, it was reported that Gaeun's legal team had filed a lawsuit against CEO Lee Young-hak. The group continued as 6. Then, in May 2025, member Soo-hye went on an indefinite hiatus due to personal reasons. In August 2025, the company debuted a subunit called Madein S, featuring only the 4 Japanese members, which publicly raised questions about the status of the remaining Korean members Yeso and Soo-hye. On December 26, 2025, 143 Entertainment confirmed that both Yeso and Soo-hye had left the group. The company's official website was later updated to list only 4 members. Madein, which debuted as 7 just over a year earlier, now operates as 4. Purple Kiss debuted on March 15, 2021 under RBW Entertainment with 7 members. On November 18, 2022, RBW released a statement revealing that Jiyeon was told by health specialists that she needs rest and stability due to poor physical conditions and anxiety symptoms. After an in-depth discussion and careful consideration, it was agreed between Jiyeon and RBW that she would be leaving Purple Kiss. Following her departure from Purple Kiss, Jiyeon studied at the Donga Institute of Media and Arts in preparation for a career as an actress. On December 2, 2025, EVNNE announced that they had signed an exclusive contract with Jiyeon as an actress. ikon debuted on September 15, 2015 under YG Entertainment with 7 members. BI served as the group's leader and was their primary producer and songwriter, involved in writing a significant portion of the group's discography. On June 12, 2019, a recording surfaced online in which BI, whose real name is Kim Han-bin, was heard allegedly negotiating the purchase of illegal drugs. BI initially denied the claims. However, on June 12, 2019, the same day, he released a handwritten letter announcing his departure from ikon and the termination of his contract with YG Entertainment, stating that the allegations had become a burden to the members and that leaving was the right thing to do. BI did not stay quiet for long. He signed with a smaller independent label and began releasing solo music. He was open about his personal struggles during this period, including discussions about mental health. He built a genuinely devoted solo fanbase and has since released multiple albums, held solo concerts, and continued to write and produce his own music. As of 2026, he has enlisted in the military. ikon has since left YG Entertainment. MonstaX debuted on May 14, 2015 under Starship Entertainment with 7 members. On October 28, 2019, the group released a comeback album called Follow, Find You. 2 days later, on October 31, 2019, Starship Entertainment released a statement announcing that member Wonho was leaving the group. The reason was a social media post by a former acquaintance named Jung Da-eun, who claimed Wonho owed her a significant amount of money. A second person, Han Seo-hee, a figure known for her involvement in multiple celebrity controversies in Korea, then added further claims, including an allegation that Wonho had used marijuana years before his debut and had spent time in a juvenile detention facility. Starship initially said it would take legal action against the people spreading the claims. Within days, however, they announced Wonho's departure, stating the decision was mutual. Wonho's own letter to fans acknowledged past mistakes without confirming or denying specific allegations, and he asked fans to continue supporting the remaining members. In March 2020, police concluded their investigation and cleared Wonho of all drug-related charges. By that point, he had been out of MonstaX for 5 months. He signed with a subsidiary of Starship Entertainment and launched a solo career. He has since released multiple EPs and albums, completed international tours, and has been consistently active. Onlyoneof debuted on May 28, 2019 under 8D Creative with 7 members. The group developed a small but loyal fan base. On October 2, 2021, 8D Entertainment announced Love would be leaving the group due to personal reasons. He was formerly the leader and main vocalist of the group prior to his departure. In December of 2025, it was announced that he would debut alongside KB and 9 as a 3-member project boy group QQQ. He will go under the new stage name Jisung. Tempest debuted on March 2, 2022 under ARrC Entertainment Korea with 7 members. On October 19, 2023, Yuhua Entertainment announced that member Hwarang would undergo surgery for his injured shoulder and would be going on hiatus to recover. On March 6, 2024, Yuhua Entertainment announced that Hwarang would halt activities with the group for a second time due to lack of trust between both parties. On October 11, 2024, the company announced that Hwarang would be leaving the group and his contract would be terminated after reaching a mutual agreement between the artist and agency. The group would then continue activities with the remaining 6 members. In October 2024, he enlisted into the military and is scheduled to be discharged this month, April 2026. Victon debuted on November 9, 2016 under Play M Entertainment, now ARrC Entertainment, with 7 members. The group had a relatively stable run for several years, though they faced interruptions, including periods where multiple members were serving mandatory military duty. On September 22, 2022, ARrC Entertainment announced that Chan had been accused of drunk driving, in which he was caught doing so just 2 days before. The agency released a statement announcing his hiatus from individual and group activities until further notice. He then released a handwritten letter apologizing to the fans, and the group would later hold a concert with 5 members. On October 11th, after careful discussions with the members of Victon, including Chan, it was decided that he would be leaving Victon following his DUI controversy. The group would be reorganized with the remaining 6 members moving forward. On October 20, 2023, it was announced that half of the group would be leaving ARrC Entertainment following the expiration of their contracts. The other half had their exclusive period with ARrC partially adjusted due to military enlistment. The 3 remaining members left the label during 2024. Seungro's contract ended on November 27th, and Seungshik and Sejun ended their contracts on December 17th of that year. Apink debuted on April 19, 2011 under A-Cube Entertainment with 7 members. They were one of the major girl groups of the second generation K-pop era. However, they did not stay 7 for long. On April 23, 2013, A-Cube announced that Yoo Kyung would be leaving the group to focus on her studies. Apink operated as 6 for the vast majority of their careers. Then on April 29, 2021, it was announced that all members renewed their contracts except for Nayeon. They added that she will remain a member of the group despite her departure from the agency. On April 8th, Nayeon shared a handwritten letter on Instagram in which she revealed she had decided to part ways with the group. The group has since been operating as 5 members, and they remain as one of the longest running active girl groups in K-pop history. The 7-member chorus was hitting groups as far back as 2013. Weeekly debuted on June 30th, 2020 under Play M or ARrC Entertainment with 7 members. They're a Nugu group with a very popular hit song, one hit wonder basically. On June 1st, 2022, ARrC Entertainment released a statement stating that as of that day, Jiyoon will be ending her activities as a member of Weeekly. After discussing with Jiyoon, her family, and medical experts on if she was ready to resume activities, it was decided it would be best for her to continue receiving treatment in an environment that helps her mental health. She has since debuted as a soloist with the stage name Swan. The remaining 6 members of Weeekly officially departed ARrC Entertainment on February 26, 2025, after choosing not to renew their exclusive contracts. NCT Dream debuted on August 25, 2016 under SM Entertainment as part of the broader NCT system. What made them different from the start was SM's intention to run the unit with a graduation system, meaning members would age out of the group when they turned 20 and be replaced by younger members. For a period of time, the 7-member lineup was the established and recognized face of the group. Mark was the first to hit the age limit and officially graduated from NCT Dream in 2018, reducing the group from 7 to 6. He remained active in other NCT units. Then in 2020, SM Entertainment quietly scrapped the graduation system entirely because of the fans and how the group had evolved. Mark was officially reinstated as a prominent member of NCT Dream. So they went from 7 to 6, then back to 7 again, all within a few years. Then on April 3rd, 2026, SM Entertainment released an official statement confirming that Mark would be leaving all NCT activities, including both NCT 127 and NCT Dream, with his contract set to officially end on April 8, 2026, exactly 10 years after his debut as NCTU on April 9, 2016. SM said the decision came after a long period of in-depth discussions and was reached mutually. Mark himself posted a handwritten letter to fans the same day, saying that since his trainee days, he had always carried a dream of traveling with just an acoustic guitar, writing music freely, and busking on the streets. He said reaching the end of his contract made him finally want to pursue what he called the true form of that dream. So far, we know nothing about the future of Mark's solo career aside from his departure. 2PM debuted in 2008 under JYP Entertainment as 7 members. The leader, J Park, left the group on September 8, 2009, 1 year after their debut, at just 20 years old, after an old social media post on MySpace from when he was a teenager living in the United States resurfaced and were taken badly by Korean media and parts of the public. Apparently, he had written stuff that sounded like he was dissing Korea, and people did not like it. He left quietly at first, then officially confirmed his departure in 2010. He went on to build a solo career, eventually founding his own labels and becoming a major figure in Korean hip-hop and R&B. EVNNE debuted in 2010 under Woollim Entertainment as 7 members. In August 2017, member Hoya did not renew his contract with the agency after it expired. He had been with the group for 7 years. He debuted as a soloist and participated in Street Man Fighter. Hoya then went on to pursue acting, finished serving in the military, and released more solo music. EVNNE has operated without him since. All members have left Woollim Entertainment but still participate in group activities. Momoland debuted in 2016 through a Mnet competition called Finding Momoland with 7 girls under MLD Entertainment. On March 28, 2017, Daisy and Taeha joined the group, making the group 9 members. On March 13, 2019, MLD announced that the group will return with 7 members, while Daisy and Taeha will not take part due to health and personal reasons, and will rejoin the group in the future. On November 30, 2019, MLD announced the departures of Taeha and Yeonwoo. Both left for health and personal reasons, which dropped them back to 7 members. Daisy was still there at that point, but she had gone on hiatus earlier in 2019, supposedly for health and personal stuff. Things got messy fast. The company kept saying she needed more rest and wouldn't let her come back, even though she says she begged them to rejoin. Then in May 2020, they announced Daisy was out for good. Officially, they said it was her choice after some dating rumors, but Daisy has been vocal since then that she got straight up fired with no heads up. She claims the company froze her activities for over 9 months, ignored her wanting to return, and used the rumors as an excuse. She even sued them later and won money they owed her. After leaving, Daisy stepped away from the idol life completely. She's been posting on TikTok under Daisy's For You. She made it clear she's happy where she is and has zero interest in jumping back into K-pop. She even opened up in lives about how tough idol schedules are and stuff like plastic surgery happened during those health breaks. As for the group itself, they went down to 6. On January 27, 2023, MLD Entertainment announced that Momoland would be leaving the agency after deciding not to renew their contract. On April 10, 2025, Enhypen Entertainment announced that Momoland recently signed with them and will be resuming their group activities. ARrC debuted in 2012 under FNC with 8 girls. Kyung left in October 2016 after her band unit stuff didn't work out, and she wanted to focus on studies, which dropped them to 7. Then in June 2017, Choa left for insomnia and depression, which brought the group down to 6. But the biggest controversy hit hard later. In 2020, Mina went public with bullying allegations against Jimin, and it blew up massively. Jimin left the group and retired from the industry in July 2020. More members left after that. Yuna in 2021, Seolhyun in 2022, and by 2023, the group was basically done with only a few members left doing solo or doing nothing. Jimin stayed out of the spotlight completely after retiring. Choa tried a solo comeback, but kept a low profile. Mina spoke out more later about the trauma but focused on her own life. The whole thing turned into one of the messiest scandals and the group never recovered. BTOB BTOB debuted in 2012 with 7 members. On December 21, 2020, it was reported that Ilhyun was under investigations for suspicion of marijuana use. On December 31st of the same year, he was withdrawn from BTOB following the accusations but remained under Cube Entertainment. He admitted to the charges at his first hearing on April 22, 2021. He got a suspended 2-year sentence. Since then, Ilhyun finished his military service, stayed low for a while, then came back with solo music. He dropped digital singles in 2024 and had a full album in 2025. In early 2026, he did a live stream where he confirmed he's still close with the members. TRIBE debuted on February 17, 2021 under TR Entertainment with 7 members. The group had notable backing from producer Shin Sang-dong Tiger and was signed internationally to Republic Records under Universal Music. On May 31, 2022, just over a year into their career, TR Entertainment announced that member Jinha was going on hiatus due to health reasons. The group continued as 6. For over a year, there were discussions about whether she could return, with the company saying they were still working through it. Then on July 21, 2023, TR Entertainment confirmed that Jinha had officially left the group in order to focus on her recovery. She had been away for over 13 months at this point. The story doesn't end cleanly there. On February 23, 2024, TRIBE's producer Shin Sang-dong Tiger was found dead in his recording studio. Their final release under him, a single called Diamond in February 2024, turned out to be their last. In March 2025, TR Entertainment declared bankruptcy. Their bubble chat ended, social media accounts got wiped clean or rebranded. Foreign members Kelly and Gia returned to Taiwan. Ma returned to Japan. The group is presumed to have quietly disbanded without a formal announcement. Blitzers debuted on May 12, 2021 under Wuzo Entertainment with 7 members. Debuted a following through consistent touring including US and European dates. In March 2023, Wuzo Entertainment announced that member Go Yu had been diagnosed with restless leg syndrome, a condition that causes persistent discomfort and involuntary movement, particularly at night. and would be going on hiatus to undergo treatment. The group promoted as 6 throughout 2023. After 9 months of treatment and undergoing discussions about his future, on January 29, 2024, Woo confirmed that Go-Yu had made the decision to leave Blitzers and prioritize his recovery. The agency said that even though his journey as a member was over, they hoped fans would support him in getting better. Blitzers has continued as 6. Drippin debuted on October 28, 2020 under Woollim Entertainment with 7 members. ARrC was notably the first German idol to debut in Kpop and was revealed as the 7th and final member of the group just before their debut. On January 26, 2023, Woollim announced that ARrC was going on hiatus due to poor health and anxiety concerns. He sat out of several promotions and releases throughout the year. On July 28, 2023, after adequate discussions between the company, ARrC and his parents, Woollim confirmed that ARrC would be officially leaving Drippin after terminating his contract. ARrC posted a personal letter thanking fans after the announcement. He has since returned to normal life, focusing on school and acting. EVNNE debuted on September 19, 2023 under Jellyfish Entertainment as part of a 7-member project group formed through the Boys Planet survival show. 2 of those members were under a separate agency called Yuhua Entertainment, not Jellyfish. Their participation in EVNNE was always a time-limited arrangement dependent on contract negotiations. On December 8, 2025, Jellyfish Entertainment announced that Yoo Seung-yeon and Ji Young-soo would be concluding their activities with EVNNE and returning to Yuhua Entertainment after their scheduled fan meeting in January 2026. The 5 remaining members would continue as a permanent group. The Wind debuted in May 2023 under With Us Entertainment with 7 guys. Just 7 months later, in December 2023, Shin Jae-won left due to personal reasons. Turns out there was a dating scandal where fans had caught him allegedly dating another fan. According to his fans, his alleged girlfriend exposed him after they broke up. The group continued as 6. On September 26, 2024, he was officially introduced as a contestant of a survival show, Project 7. On December 20th, he was eliminated in episode 11 after ranking 34th place. On October 1st, 2025, he was identified as the contestant Sing Again 4 singer number 56 on the JTB survival show Sing Again 4. On October 28, it was confirmed in the 3rd episode and on the show's website that he was eliminated during the first round. His performance did not air, but it was released exclusively on the JTBC Music YouTube channel. ARrC debuted on August 19, 2024 under Mystic Story, a subsidiary of SM Entertainment, with 7 members. Then just 5 months later, on January 22, 2025, Mystic Story announced through ARrC's Weverse account that member Ziwoo had left the group due to personal reasons. The company said it was sudden, but they respected it. No further detail was given. Ziwoo actually debuted solo in March 2026 with a digital single called Stay in the Mirror with the stage name Jiwoo. 9 days after his departure, on January 31st, Mystic Story announced that a former contestant from the survival show Project 7 named Andy would be joining the group as a new member, restoring the count back to 7. ONF debuted on August 3rd, 2017 under WM Entertainment with 7 members. On August 23rd, 2019, WM Entertainment released a statement saying that Laon had expressed a desire to stop all entertainment activities, that his contract had been terminated effective that day, and that he was leaving both the group and the industry due to personal reasons. Laoon never resurfaced in the entertainment industry. He opened a personal Instagram in December 2020, his first public appearance since leaving, but has not pursued music or acting in any visible capacity. ONF went to have significant success at 6, appearing on Road to Kingdom and getting their first music show win in 2021. All members have served and have been discharged from the military. In January 2026, ONF decided to part ways with the label, but will still continue group activities. MVP debuted on March 13, 2017 under PH Entertainment with 7 members. On October 12, 2020, MVP announced that Take enlisted. On September 17, 2021, they made their third comeback with the second mini-album I'm a Go, but with the unexplained absence of Jin and the inactivities of Take due to his military enlistment. They promoted as a 5-member group. On February 16, 2022, Raeyeon posted an Instagram post with a caption revealing the group had disbanded. NCHIVE is a boy group under UberMoon Studio that was announced in October 2023 and originally set to debut on March 11, 2024 with 7 members. However, before they even had their official debut, member Minjun sustained an injury during practice, forcing the company to push the debut back. The group eventually debuted on April 9, 2024 with the single album Drive. Then on July 1, 2024, just 3 months after their debut, UberMoon Studio announced that Minjun had left the group due to health reasons. He had gone from injuring himself in pre-debut rehearsals to being unable to continue with the group at all within the same year. The group was already 6 before most people outside their fanbase had ever heard of them. NCHIVE has continued as 6. ATBO debuted on July 27, 2022 under ARrC Entertainment as a 7-member boy group formed through the survival show The Origin, A, B or What. In March 2024, member Rakwon went on hiatus after experiencing symptoms of anxiety. ARrC held several discussions with him during that period about whether he could continue. On May 6, 2024, the company confirmed that Rakwon had officially left the group, with his health being the reason. The group then went completely inactive throughout 2025, releasing no music and holding no group schedules. Member Seunghwan enlisted for mandatory military service in October 2025. On December 17, 2025, ARrC Entertainment announced that the group was disbanding and terminated the management contracts of all remaining members. ATBO went from 7 to 6, then from 6 to nothing within 3 years of debut. Hashtag debuted on October 11, 2017 under Lock Factory, produced by former Baby Vox member Kan Min-yoon with 7 members. On March 21, 2023, Lock Factory announced that both Daejeong and AG had been expelled from the group. 2 members gone in one announcement, bringing hashtag from 7 down to 5. What made it worse is that Daejeong and AG both came out publicly afterward, saying they had absolutely no prior knowledge of their removal. It was not their decision. The group released a single called Diamond in June 2023, their first release after the forced departures. That turned out to be their final release. On October 12, 2024, exactly 7 years after their debut, Hashtag officially disbanded when their contract with Lock Factory expired. Saturday debuted on July 18, 2018 under SD Entertainment with 7 members. They barely made it to the end of their debut year before the lineup started shifting. In December 2018, Chaewon left to focus on her studies. In early 2019, Juyeon joined as a replacement, keeping the number at 7. Then in March 2019, Sunha left. Then in August 2019, both Xion and Chohee were announced to have left the group, dropping the group to 5. Saturday spent most of their existence rotating members in and out, never stabilizing as any fixed lineup for long. They went quiet for over 2 years and eventually came back under a new agency, Yeonsu Group. But by that point, the group barely resembled what it had started. On July 18, 2023, Yeonsu Group announced that Hanul had left Saturday due to personal reasons, and the group would continue as 4. On March 25, 2024, Yeonsu Group CEO revealed to a fan on Instagram that Juyeon had been absent from group activities due to health reasons. The group has been promoting as a 3-member group so far. Cignature debuted on February 4th, 2020 under J9 Entertainment, a subsidiary of C9 Entertainment, as a 7-member girl group. They were notable for being the first girl group to debut in the 2020s. Just over a year after debut on April 27, 2021, J9 Entertainment announced that both Ye-ah and Sun were leaving the group, with Ye-ah's contract terminated that day. 2 members out at once. New members Chloe and Dohee were added in June 2021, restoring the number back to 7. In January 2024, Belle went to participate in the survival show Universe Ticket and ended up debuting in the resulting group Eunice under her real name, effectively leaving Cignature behind, and the group continued as 6. Then later in 2024, member Chloe quietly departed to return to her studies in the US, having been a student at the University of Michigan before her idol career. She revealed it as a fan sign and the company never made an official announcement. Cignature's social media account simply edited her out of the profile photos in October 2024, and the group started performing as 5. On December 3rd, 2024, C9 Entertainment announced that Cignature was officially disbanding, with all contracts terminated as of November 30th, 2024. BABYMONSTER is a girl group under YG Entertainment that officially debuted in April 2024 with 7 members. On May 2025, Rami goes on hiatus for health issues she's had since debut. She's been excluded from a lot of promotions as they push as 6 for comebacks. YG says she needs full rest. She hasn't officially left the group, but at this point, it looks like they're heading towards that direction. I have not seen any case where a group's member who went on a long hiatus, and especially for health reasons, ended up coming back with the exception of Leah from ITZY. But let's see, because if you watch the full video, you can tell that there is a pattern that any group member who went on a long hiatus for health reasons often ended up leaving the group eventually. And that is all the K-pop groups I could find. It's crazy how common this is. Maybe it's because 7 members is the most common pattern for groups or something, I don't know. The course runs deeper than I thought. If there's any more rabbit holes you'd like me to cover, then comment. Thank you for watching.